A listener warning. Please be advised that this episode contains content that may be disturbing to some listeners, including descriptions of violence. Listener discretion is advised.
Life upon the wicked stage ain't ever what a girl supposes.
I'm Jen.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Olivia.
And we are, in fact, three different people.
This podcast focuses on true crime under the spotlight of arts and entertainment. So grab your beverage of choice and settle in.
Places, ladies.
Here's our episode.
Yeah, so Olivia, your delay today was good because I could put together this deranged outfit.
And I mean, it looks cute to me. You look like, you know what it looks like? It looks like I'm just a skater boy. I'm just a skater boy. I'm gonna ba ba ba.
Never has Rich said to me, like, what are you wearing? But I feel like today really came close. I've got my listeners. I will describe for those who are not watching this on like Patreon or YouTube, but like it's very cold. Today is the day of like that cold, like it was like 25 last night.
Yes.
So I've got my beanie on, very emo, and then I've got my I have this Grey Gardens shirt.
Oh,
it's little Edie.
You know who I thought that was?
Who?
I thought it was a Marilyn Manson t-shirt.
Olivia, I am not that hardcore.
Well, I didn't know if maybe you went full 90s today because of the cold weather. And
yes, Olivia, I raided your husband's closet and came out with no. And it says, I have to stand up. It says, it's a staunch character.
Oh my God!
So, and then I've got this like massive. I call this my like Fozzie the Bear like cardigan.
Yes.
Over top. It goes down to my ankles. It's glorious.
Love it.
I'm a little emo. I'm a little cold. It's
I today, because I've had to be out and about a little bit, so I wore the giant Michael Kors fuzzy lined puffer jacket that I got for Boston.
Lovely.
And it has been perfect. And I'm like, take that, Florida. I was ready.
Shout out to Michael Kors. Speaking of ensembles, Jen is debuting.
Yeah.
This is very exciting. We heard about this last week, and it is making its debut this week. Well, Jen, can you please describe?
My floozy robe has made its first appearance.
Yes. I think you just heated up. I think the temperature in Central Florida just rose. I think so.
If I am bringing the emo to this week's episode, Jen is like bringing the sex appeal.
The heat.
It is very Scarlett O'Hara coded. It's.
I feel disappointed in my outfit. It's too normal. It's just a striped sweater. But I do have, hold on, my black leather boots. Hold on, ready? I can kick. I don't know if you can see them. Hold on. I'm 50. I can kick and stretch. There you go. And kick.
Listener, she's not 50, but those boots are very fun, Olivia.
Thank you. Let's get into our story for today. So, I texted you both yesterday, and I said that you both needed to practice your Boston accents.
Donkeys.
Because let me tell you, this documentary that we're talking about today, we have a lot of gangsters. We have a lot of Irish mobsters.
Stadies?
And we have a lot of stadies.
Oh, is that what I called? Stadies.
State police. That's what they call them, Jen.
Stadies.
We got stadies, and we also got the feds.
Wicked.
All right?
Isn't our podcast name is also sort of perfect for this week's episode because it's
Wicked.
It's wicked.
It's like this episode is wicked stacked.
Wicked pad.
Stacked. This is
Wicked
brought to you by the
stacked.
Wicked Podcast.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not saying I'm doing this accent well. Yeah. This is one of the hardest accents to do is the Boston.
Very specific. Yeah, I'm sure people from Boston right now, listeners are screaming. They're like, that's not how this goes at all.
They're
I know we
vomiting.
have.
So today we are talking about the unsolved heist of the Isabella Gardner Museum.
Oh,
that's what we're talking about
gosh.
today.
I love this.
This is one of my favorite stories because it involves the mob, and
This is gonna be wicked cool.
And if you go to the Gardner, you can. It's a wicked museum, and you can see the current day implications of this heist, which is so cool. So the Isabella Gardner Museum, it's in Boston, and it is beautiful. I don't know if you guys have been. I've been twice. And
No. I've seen
just-
pictures. I've never been there.
Yeah. So this museum was built by Isabella Gardner, who wanted it to be built like a Venetian palace. So that's the theme that she had in mind. And Isabella herself was an interesting character. I'm not going to talk too much about her because there is so much to get into with this freaking heist. Isabella was kind of a bit of a eccentric in her time because she was a very like headstrong woman. So she built this museum in honor of her passion for art, but also Venetian architecture. So the outside kind of looks like a box. Like the outside looks like, oh, okay. And inside you walk into another world. The whole thing is built around these gardens.
It's very. It looks like it belongs in Europe. The inside of it, and like old Europe. Well, and Olivia, just to give us context, when did she actually build this building? Like what year are we talking about? We know the heist is in the 90s, but yeah, when are we for Isabella?
Isabella, it broke ground in 1899.
Oh wow. Okay.
So for her at that time to lead this have this vision and have the wealth, her own wealth to build this is really interesting. It's a lot of it was her collection, I think, that started it. But she has this will, which is known as like the infamous Isabella's will.
Oh no.
So she did this so that nothing can be permanently structurally changed.
There's no control issues here at all.
Exactly.
No one built the Performing Arts Center and picked out everything themselves. Every faucet and light fixture by hand. Whatever.
I don't know what you're even implying, Ashley.
That would never happen, Olivia.
Never. Not in this day and age. Not in this day and age. So, if anything is ever structurally permanently changed in this place, the art, this is in the will, so they have to abide by it. The art will be boxed up, all of it sent to Paris, auctioned off, and the proceeds are to go to Harvard University.
Wait, so let me just repeat it back so I'm clear. So this woman in like I think I gave her a quick Google. So she died in like 1924. So
she had a tight grip on this place for at least 25 years. Mm-hmm.
This woman in her will in the 20s wanted to retain such control over literally everything that was happening or not happening in this building from beyond the grave. She was like, if you like so much as like move a chair, you must, as mandated by my will, you have to box all this up and we're shutting it down. Like,
I mean, kind of. I think moving a chair, but like if you were to change the walls, if you were to do something with the garden that it's not intended for.
Hang the pictures in a different room, say.
If you change anything permanently, it's over.
It's over.
It's over.
And was this, there must have been some sort of like a trust or like some living person had to reinforce this because it's like you can kind of write anything you want in a will, but then it's also like, well, you're dead. It's not like you're going to show up and say, hey, you moved that painting and I told you not to. So like ship them to Paris. Like that's
a good question. I don't know if anyone is enforcing it, but the executive directors have always known about this will and have themselves taken it upon themselves to uphold her wishes, you know?
Wow. Okay. All right. It's very specific.
Yeah. So we're going to go to Boston In 1990, it's March 18th, which is also known as St. Patty's Day.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
That is a
God.
very big deal in Boston. So, yeah, it is. So St. Patty's Day. So a couple interesting things are happening in the middle of the night. There is 24-hour security at the Gardner Museum.
People
Are there, not just
Okay.
security systems. So they do have a security system, which is going to play into this, that tracks its motion sensors throughout the building.
Okay.
But it's
Okay.
not in every part of the building. It's in the galleries. It's not in all the hallways.
Okay.
But it monitors when there's movement in certain spaces, and it reports it on this screen and prints it out. And it's
Yeah.
hilarious because you think about the technology at 1990.
I was just going to say.
It's like one of those kind of weirdly beige screens with like green letters, and it's got the green digital. And then the printing is like, it's that kind of.
It's very,
Yeah.
like this was, I think this was also, Olivia, sort of, to have a like computer, driven like security system. This wasn't like, out of the realm of possibility, but to your point, like so slow and so like analog, like with the printout or like whatever it was giving you. Like this wasn't anything like in the moment, like an app or like anything that was like your, like, did they have cameras that came with this too? And they were seeing like
Yes. So
on camera activity?
It's I love these questions because this is a lot of sets up kind of the vibe of how this place was existing before this happened. So there were cameras outside. There were not cameras inside. The security system, it was immediate, but it wasn't. It would flash up on the screen and it would be like, movement in the blue room, investigate.
Can you go do something?
It's telling the security guard, investigate, and like exclamation points. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Also, so the other security infrastructure, there are two doors. There's imagine that there's the security room.
Okay.
It's got glass windows, and there's a hallway out front. So there's a door at that hallway that you have to buzz people in and out. It's like a solid door. Then there's kind of a foyer and another door that goes to the outside. That's the outer door. And that is locked with like a bolt lock.
Okay.
Now, the security guys overnight, they're not at the front door of the museum. This is like the security entrance, the back door, like where deliveries might come.
Okay.
Okay. So there's cameras off to that side of the building. The security guards that were interviewed later, there's only 2 guards, by the way. There's 2 guards on duty overnight. Now, over the course of however many months or years, security had been complaining to the chief of security that the security measures were not up to par with what the technology of the day was. They said that the kind of to your point, Ashley, there's no app that doesn't even exist yet, but they said that the alerts that would go out when the motion detectors went, they were faulty. So sometimes they would work and sometimes they wouldn't.
Like false alarms / failing to record things that really were happening?
Yes, both of those things.
Sure.
So that plays into some of this confusion as well. Now, earlier in the 80s, there was a thwarted attempt by the Italian La Cosa Nostra, if you will, to rob the Gardner. I think it was around 81, I think. There was a plot.
Oh, wow.
And the feds got wind of it and they stopped it from happening.
Oh my gosh.
So the Gardner, the security professionals say that should have been a
Yeah.
clue to Gardner administration and
Yeah,
Step it up.
please.
Yeah.
step it
Like,
up. We're vulnerable. We're vulnerable.
Yeah.
The mob's,
something. Do
the mob's
something.
already looking at us. We should
Oh my
probably
gosh.
get something in place. Right.
But
right.
it sounds like, Olivia, it's like, so you've got like some amount of like motion monitoring, you have some amount of video, you have some people on site, but based on your description thus far, it sounds like all of it separately and collectively was kind of like patchy, like
right.
in your security system.
Patchy.
Like,
In the morning, there is a couple that is out. They've been partying. This is going into Sunday,
St.
which
Patty.
is, again, 12:45, March 18th. It's St. Patty's Day. And the city is celebrating actually
Right.
on St. Patty's Day. So it's not that they celebrated on Saturday.
I'm sure they did.
I mean, I'm sure plenty of people celebrated on Saturday. Let me just.
it's a whole weekend.
right.
In
But
Actually,
in
on
Boston. But the big parade was scheduled for Sunday morning.
Got it.
Right. So this couple was
Cheers? Were
leaving
they
from
going to
one of the
Cheers?
bars, and they were horsing around, and they're walking. They might have been to Cheers, I don't know. And they're walking by the Gardner, and they notice there is a car sitting in front of the Gardner with the engine running. And they, as they're walking by, being, kooky, kind of drunk, heading home, they look over and they see two Boston police officers sitting in the car. They see that, they know that
Right.
by, they see the uniformed patch on the sleeve of the guys. The car is something I've never heard of in my life. It ends up being identified as what they thought was a blue Dodge Daytona.
Oh.
Anyone? So that's like a hatchback, blue, old, kind of
I'm gonna
80s
do it too.
car.
Gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah, look up a Dodge Daytona. So they're like, they just remembered it. No big deal, because
okay,
maybe because they
okay.
were drunk and they're walking down the middle of the street and there's a couple
Very
cops.
sporty.
And they're like, "Whoa."
It's very sporty, and it just even if it
Doesn't it?
wasn't the 80s, this car just feels inherently 80s.
Right. Doesn't it though? Sorry. Okay. So that was 12:45 in the morning.
Okay.
I'm going to jump now ahead
Okay.
to 7:30 in the morning. So seven hours later, this wonderful young security guard, her name's Karen Sangrigori. She arrives. Karen. She arrives for her shift. She loved working at the museum. She was a guard there, and she was young. I think she was going to school at the same time. She had the morning shift, so it was her usual routine. Is she would get there, she would knock on the outer door, and the guys would come let her in. Because remember, there's two doors. There is a bolted door, and then there's a door that you have to get buzzed in.
Sure.
So she comes up, and the outside door is unlocked. So she goes through the first door, gets to the second door, knocks, and is waiting to get the brrrr so that she can come in.
Oh, no.
Knocks. Nobody answers. So after a few minutes, she's like, okay, I think
Karen's
something might be- I
concerned.
think something's wrong. And so she calls her chief. Yeah, she calls the chief, and she's like,
concerned.
Chief, I can't get in. He's like, all right, I'll be right there. So he arrives. When he arrives, they notice that the cameras on the outside of the building have been turned to face a slightly different direction. They have to bust through the door
Oh, dang.
to get in. The main security office door has been broken. It's busted. There is a crowbar. There's all kinds of it looks like something happened. It's
There has been
in
a struggle.
disarray. It's in disarray. And the security footage, which back then children would have been captured on what's called a VHS.
It's a big black rectangle with literally tape inside it.
Be
Because
kind, rewind.
Videotape.
You know?
Tape.
A
of
tape.
Video.
That's right. Did you? That's right. Well, the VHS tape was gone. And there's no
backup.
There's no one around.
Uh-oh.
The security guys are not there. So the chief calls the Boston Police Department. So he calls BPD. About this time, then he also calls the director of the museum. Her name is Anne Hawley.
Anne.
So by the time Anne gets the call, the police have arrived. And she gets the call, and she said it's from the chief, and he says, "Anne, we have a problem. There's been a theft." Because in addition to the kind of disarray in the chief's office, on his chair, there's an empty art frame.
No.
Uh-oh.
That's been discarded there.
So they know something is definitely missing right away.
Is up. Anne Hawley had been on. She was the very first female executive director that this place had. She'd been on the job 6 months when this happened.
Anne.
I don't know how Anne survived, and let me tell you, Anne stayed there until
Good.
Poor Anne. She was there for 20-something years. I have when she left. But yeah, so she stayed. She stuck it out.
She didn't let this get her.
She was like, I'm not going to let the bastards get me down.
Oh,
she worked really hard to get rid of it.
By the way, I don't know where Anne's from. But
Midwest.
she has.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
Maybe she has one for purposes of the story. Who knows?
Yeah. So the police arrive. And they also call in the feds. They call in the FBI because this is so there's like a Boston division of the FBI that deals with burglaries and violent theft, and specifically bank robberies. There was not an art division at the time in Boston, so they call those guys in. So they are searching for the guards.
Yeah, where are these guys?
They're searching. They start at the top of the building. They go floor by floor. Well, when they get to the second floor, what's called the Dutch room, they find a scene. They find there are frames that are empty that have been tossed on the floor. And there are blank spaces on the wall where the frames have been drilled out of the wall.
Oh my gosh.
And the thieves had cut the canvas from the frames. So they had, who knows what they had, an X-Acto knives or whatever, but they didn't spend the time to take the frames apart because
it's like unnail like the softer canvas,
right? Because
what like rolled,
So instead of taking the big full frames out, which would have been huge for some of these, they and instead of dismantling the frames, they literally
damaged the artwork,
the canvas out.
Yeah,
so they actually damaged the edge of the painting.
They didn't just steal it; they vandalized it.
They damaged. They vandalized it. Yeah. So they find this room. Then they go down to the first floor. There is the blue room and the shot gallery, which took me it's the short.
I was like, the
short
short?
gallery.
Like,
shot.
The shot.
Like, is it an aquarium? Like, wait. What kind of place is this?
It's where the bones of the sharks are. Yeah. So they find this room. They're like, oh shit, here's the crime scene. Still no guards. Well, the security guard, Karen, who had kind of found the whole thing, she lets them know there are tunnels under. There's like a basement under the building.
Okay.
So they go down in the basement and they find the 2 guards in the basement.
Oh, thank goodness.
Handcuffed, unharmed.
Okay.
Duct-taped. But the duct tape was in such an odd way they had never seen it before. They had duct tape across their eyes and around their head like a bonnet, like under the chin, around the head. Like it looked really bizarre. And they were like, okay, these guys, whoever did this obviously didn't want to hurt these guys because they would have just killed them. But they left them, and they had also duct taped their hands behind them and handcuffed them.
But why the bonnet fashioning? It seems like it would be faster and take less tape and be at least as secure to just take it all the way around the head.
Right. No, it's like it's like, you know, in the old, when someone has like a toothache in the old movies, they have like a thing like tied around their chin. It was that. It was across the eyes and around the back of the head, and then this weird bonnet thing around their head. I have no idea.
But that seems so... that feels like a signature, because that is so... Just like, it's not practical. Like, you would never... Right. It's like, you know, like, I know it's like a person's not a package, but it's like you're wrapping tape around something to secure it. You would do one continuous tape. You would be like, wait, I'm going to get a little piece for your eyeball, and then I'm going to bonnet the rest. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
there is a photo. It's actually kind of funny. Here, hold on.
Is this in the drive?
It's not, and I should have put it in there, but I'm going to do it. I'll drop it in there real quick. And I felt one thing that made me feel really bad about this one security guard. He is obviously like a total hippie because he's got a tie-dyed fanny pack on under his, he has like the security shirt on, but it's open, and he has like a tie-dye shirt, and he has like this weird like fanny pack. Like it looks like he is a total like pothead. Well, he has long curly hair, and he's got this duct tape around his head.
It's gonna
I was like,
really be horrible to get. Yeah.
That's gonna be a bitch to get off his hair. Yeah,
that's so weird.
Yeah. So I kind of felt bad for him, but
yes,
should I have felt bad for him?
Should we?
You ask.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say. I was like, are we thinking the guards are in any way either like just idiots who couldn't stop it, or are they in on it?
Right. That's a good question. Okay. If you go into my folder, it's called Rick Abath.
Abath. Come on.
Yeah.
It's a play that nobody bought tickets to.
It was a wash, but I'm bummed.
I see what you did there. It was a little joke.
Oh no!
So if you open that
He's
image,
so
you're
hairy.
gonna see what poor Rick looked like.
Rick is having a day.
He's having a day, but look, he's smiling. I think he's just happy to be alive.
Wow.
It's so weird.
That's what they did to them. It's the strangest duct tape job. It's so weird. So, okay. So they find the security guards. They untie them, and they immediately start questioning them, and they end up, taking them downtown to see what happened. In the meantime, Anne has arrived, Anne Hawley, the 6 month in her position executive director, and they start going through the Dutch room, the Blue Room, and the Shot Gallery. And there are 13 pieces of art missing. They are a Rembrandt lady. It's called A Lady and Gentleman in Black. There's a Vermeer, The Concert. There's a Flink, Landscape with Obelisk. There is 2 other Rembrandts, a self-portrait etching. There was a self-portrait done in oil, but they ended up finding that one. So it was off the wall, but it was on the floor.
Forgot to
around
take
the corner. So we're not sure exactly. There were several sketches by Degas. There was, I think, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, there was 5 sketches by Degas. Most of them centered around horses. Those were all gone. There was a bronze finial, which is the top of Napoleon's flag. So it's a gold eagle. That was just gone. And they were like, why?
It's so random.
And a a Manet called Chez Tortoni, and a Chinese bronze, like a vase type of item that was from the Shang dynasty.
It's called a gu, which is basically
Yes.
it's a vessel, and it says just it was used to drink wine or offer ritual libations.
There you go. And it's gu spelled G-U, I believe.
G-U.
The biggest piece, however, the piece de résistance, that was missing. And the frame just discarded on the floor was Christ
Rembrandt.
in a Storm on the Sea of Galilee.
Rembrandt.
The most famous Rembrandt that... and Rembrandt, the thing that makes it so interesting and unique, not only is it a beautiful masterpiece, Rembrandt put himself in it. So in the image, if you look at the image itself, if you give it a Goog real quick and look at it, it's this gorgeous image of Jesus and the disciples on the Sea of Galilee. Actually, I don't know if it's the disciples. But Jesus and some men are on the Sea of Galilee. It's the waves are whoosh, and everyone's panicked
Chilling.
except Jesus is very calm,
Chilling
looking
in the
straight
boat.
ahead, and then
Yep.
right in the front, there's a man who has his hand on his head, like, "Oi!"
He's like puking over the side of the boat.
Well, he's like looking, he's like making eye contact with you as the viewer. That is Rembrandt himself. He painted
that guy
himself on
with
the
the
boat.
blue.
Yeah, not the guy getting sick, but the guy who's like kind of like, what's happening here? That's
Oh my
Rembrandt.
gosh.
He
Well,
painted
I was gonna
himself into it.
I was going to say, Olivia, because I real quick did a head count of the people in this painting, and it's maybe not something everyone would catch, but it's all disciples or apostles, but not all apostles are disciples.
Correct.
So it is the 12
And
apostles.
that would be Rembrandt.
but we have a 13th.
13th.
That's Rembrandt.
Rembrandt himself painted himself to be like, wow, this is intense. It's a really beautiful piece. So that one, yeah. So what the heck happened? Well, I'm glad you asked. So here is the story that was given to
According to the security guards, I'm assuming.
According to the security guards.
Okay.
And really the one that most people focus on is Richard Abath, because there was, or Abath, however you say his name, there was a lot of speculation over the years as to, did he have something to do with it?
I'm just going to say right off, based on, and we'll post these photos, but just like Olivia, you started to describe his general appearance, and I understand to a certain degree, this man has just, been through a heist and has, survived. So I'm not saying like he should be, not disheveled, but like you can tell the place he started in was already like, what's doing there, buddy? Like, he's like, as a security guard, this is not what I would have on my bingo card to be like, hey, security guard for
Gardner
a,
Museum,
beautiful, prestigious art gallery, art museum that has like, priceless works in it. I don't know that this is who I necessarily want as like, quote, the night watchman. Like this guy looks like he like rolled out of bed, like smoked some weed, like may or may not have like, I don't know, like hit a concert, like hit a bar and just kind of rolled up in whatever the heck he was already wearing and sort of like loosely put on his little guard shirt over it and didn't tuck it in, didn't even like button the shirt. Like this guy does not look like a security
He looks
guard.
like he just came from Woodstock. And what's funny about him is he actually was a musician.
Oh, was he really?
And he was a guitar player and a singer. He would play concerts, and he'd have to leave, and the concerts would be like in these bars around town. And then, everybody'd be hanging out afterwards. He'd be like, all right, well, I got to go to work. And then he would come into the museum and on several occasions was notably high.
So this job was not like A, his dream job, and B, it certainly was not like his career. Like you think of like a security guard, like there are people who are like career security personnel of like various types. This was not him.
No, not at all. Not at all.
That's
no, Shaggy from Scooby-Doo is basically who this guy is. So
even shaggier.
Right? Wow. Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Yep.
If only Scooby had been there. But so what what he claims is Around 1, I think it's around 1, like 15 in the morning. So about half an hour after that couple saw the
Police.
Dodge Daytona sitting out in the front of the museum. 2 Boston police come inside the first door and knock at the second door. And Richard can see in the security camera, because Richard was the one at the desk. His partner was off on doing his rounds through the building.
Okay.
Richard sees in the security camera it's 2 Boston police
Sure.
officers. He buzzes them in. So they come in and they said, "Hey, we're here because we got a call. There's a disturbance on the premises."
Oh.
And he's like, "A disturbance?" He's like, "Man, I mean, I'm disturbed." Just kidding. I don't think he said that. But he was like, okay. They said, "Are you here alone?" He said, "No, I have a partner here." And they said, "Well, you need to get him down here right now." So he radios his partner. And while his partner's coming down, they allegedly start harassing Richard. And they're like, "Hey, you look familiar. Don't we know you? Isn't there a warrant out for your arrest? You better come out.
No.
Come out here. Come out here."
And this guy, of course, who's probably high,
Yeah.
is like,
And-
"Oh shoot!"
right.
Like,
Maybe there was a warrant too. Who knows? So his security guard buddy comes down, and at this point, the cops throw them both up against the wall, handcuff them behind their backs, and one of them says, "Gentlemen, this is a robbery."
oh God, really open and strong. Just,
Takes them down to the basement with guns. The cops have guns. Takes them down to the basement, ties them up at gunpoint, and leaves them there. And then
Not
they
like
proceed
that.
to have their way throughout the building.
We don't know.
Not like that. Well,
different way.
I don't know. Richard is smiling. I don't know.
They had their way with the art.
They had their way with the art. Thank you. There we go.
Yeah.
So some odd things. The cops are like, "Well, wait a second. How come the first door was unlocked?"
Yeah, in the first place.
Right. So Richard says, "Oh, he went, and when it was his shift, he went and opened the door."
¿Por qué?
There is never an explanation as to por qué, why he did that.
Right.
So the cops start thinking maybe this is an inside job. Did Richard alert them?
I'll leave the door open for you, and then
and then I'll buzz you in.
Tie me up, and oh no.
There's also a buzzer like button thing on the security desk that would immediately call the police. That was never pressed. So now, of course, he thought the police. If Richard is to be believed, he thought the police were there. Why would he buzz for the police?
These were the police. Yeah,
These were the police. Right. Right. So, how long do you think these 2 cops, fake cops, were in the building?
5 to 7 minutes. You get the stuff. Get out. Speed is paramount.
Key. Speed is key.
Yeah. Given the fact that they went all the way to the basement and tied these guys up, I'll be generous and say 15 minutes. Like,
Jen, what's your guess?
11 minutes.
Ooh.
What?
Survey says 81 minutes.
they were in there for almost an hour and a half.
Almost an hour and a half. And they know this because of the motion sensor alarms.
Kept going off. And
These guys were in there for an hour and almost an hour and a half. 81 minutes.
what were they doing?
Right. Well, so it took a lot of time to unscrew these paintings and cut things out of the out of the canvas.
Still,
However,
so
I
slow.
can't even, like,
what this tells
my
the
brain
cops,
isn't braining. I just can't.
Right. They took their sweet time. There are lengths. There's like 41 minutes unaccounted for based on the motion detectors.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This also shows how unreliable the motion detectors may have been. But what this tells the cops is these robbers
absolutely.
knew
They had
no
time.
cops were coming.
Yeah.
They knew they had the place to themselves.
Confident.
They were confident.
I
So
have confidence.
now
Wow.
there's a few theories I'm going to rush through.
Different.
Right. The press is all over this. So the
I
press
bet.
have showed up that morning.
Yeah.
The poor Anne Hawley gets interviewed because she's only been there for 6 months.
She's like, I just got here. My email signature hasn't even been updated on my email yet. I don't
My
know how to
welcome
use the
screen still
voicemail.
says the old executive.
So the press raked
Anne,
her
we
over the
believe
coals.
you.
But
She did her best.
yes, but over the next several days, they're confident they're going to get these. They're going to find them. They're going to show up somewhere, whatever. Nothing. Nothing. So then there are a couple theories that get floated around. One is that an oligarch or a
shit.
billionaire had ordered this because the things that were taken they were so specific.
I would like the Rembrandt.
Like, it was like to
and the-
order. It was like a grocery
Wow.
list.
It was
Like,
like
I want
Instacart.
that and that.
Yeah, it's like Instacart, Insta
Well done.
art, if you will. Yeah, they had like they're like, oh, this one's not here. Will you accept a substitution? How
that okay with
about
you?
a bronze eagle on the top of this weird flagpole? How about that?
We don't have a Da Vinci. Will you take a Rembrandt?
No. Refund, please.
Yeah, return. There goes your tip. And they're thinking, if that's the case, these things could be in somebody's private basement somewhere.
Sure.
They could be on their way to Saudi Arabia. That was another thing, getting shipped out of the country. Then there's this guy whose name
Kana?
pops up, and his name is Miles Kana.
I've heard of this person.
Kana.
I've heard about this.
Miles Kana
okay.
is
All
a
right.
professional art thief. He is known to the Boston PD and the feds.
Oh.
He stole a Rembrandt out of the Museum of Fine Art a few years before, and he was caught. And
was he?
what's funny about this guy, he also was a musician and guitarist.
But
and
he
I'm like,
needed to
man,
have a
this is,
survival job, so he was an
it's
art
coming out of
thief.
the 70s and 80s. Everybody's,
There's my option.
I guess. I mean, Jen, there's your option.
Sorry,
Jen's
we
like,
didn't
I
have
was
a season
between
4 of the
gigs,
Kissimmee
officer.
experience. I had to do something.
Yeah, that's right. And this
That happens.
And this Basquiat's real. What? Yeah.
So, hey, if anybody has
Now
a
they're
gig,
coming
save
for
me from a life of
Jen.
crime. All right.
So, that's right. That's right. What's interesting also
well,
is
he
Miles,
knew his way around
his
then,
father
you know?
was a cop. I think his uncle, his brother was a cop, and his cousin was a priest. So Miles
Balance.
rightfully became an
Olympic
art
balance.
thief.
Like you do. Well,
Yeah,
also maybe
balance.
would know about, police, like say, like,
Exactly.
countermeasures, or like, what
Right.
with the cops, like
Yep.
posing as an officer, like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Miles was in jail for a previous crime where he had had a shootout with the cops at some
Miles.
point. Yeah,
That'll do it.
He was in jail. So Miles had the best alibi.
Good
And
alibi.
He says, because he if you watch the Netflix
yeah.
documentary, This Is a Robbery, I highly recommend it.
Very good.
He's interviewed throughout, and he says that after the robbery, prison guards came to make sure he was in his cell,
Did you get out?
and he was. And he was.
Just making sure you're still here. Yeah.
Right. So
Okay.
some other odd things, okay? Why were the small pieces?
Right.
Because some of these
Yeah.
pieces are very small.
Like
Why
the
are they-
sketches, the
the
Degas. Yeah.
sketches. That's right. Why were they cut out?
Oh,
They were
that's
also
true.
cut
Yeah,
out. That
you're
could have
right.
easily gone under a
Yeah.
coat, carry it out. Why were they
it's like
cut out?
8x10. Just take it. Yeah.
Why this random goo vase and this golden eagle?
And wasn't also like, I don't know about the goo vase, but like all the golden eagle specifically, the finial,
Yeah.
wasn't that also like not really worth very
Right.
much? Like
Yes.
it wasn't valuable itself. It's like,
No.
okay, it's in the museum technically, but it's not like, oh,
No.
it's not in the same category as say like the Rembrandt or some of these other
Exactly.
pieces that are like priceless art.
A couple of these things that they said they spent a lot of time getting, that thing they had to unscrew from the top of this flagpole. Some of the smaller pieces that they had to cut out, they were not worth very much money. So they can't figure out why did they take those and then these hundreds of thousands of dollars, the Rembrandt. And
High ticket and low ticket.
and super
like,
low
just-
ticket. So this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Why were they in there 81 minutes? There is, in the Dutch room, there was a secret door that was ajar. Why was that ajar? How would they have known that door was there?
What was behind the door?
It was like a storage room.
Huh.
Yeah.
But it's like they went in there like, oh, what's...
Yeah.
Hey friends, Jen here, and we hope you're enjoying this episode of Life Upon the Wicked Stage. Just a few quick reminders. If you're looking for any of the visuals that we've mentioned in this or any episode of the podcast, make sure to follow us on Instagram at Wicked Stage Pod or Facebook at Life Upon the Wicked Stage. If you want more, please join our Patreon by searching the Wicked Stage Podcast. There you'll find ad-free episodes, videos of our recordings, mini-sodes, behind-the-scenes content, giveaways, and so much more. And the most important side note, if you like the show, please give us a nice rating wherever you listen. It sounds silly, but it's still the best way to get the word out and support us in this crazy podcast world. Well, lights are blinking, intermission's over, so grab those snacks and another drink and enjoy the rest of the show.
They knew about the secret door, but ostensibly
Right.
didn't take anything out of there?
Also, correct. When the Rembrandt, the big one, the Sea of Galilee, when that was taken off the wall, it sounded an alarm, an actual like brr, brr, alarm. They didn't leave after that alarm went off. How did they know that that alarm was not going to trigger anything
Call the
else?
police, by
Right.
itself. See,
Because-
that feels like a big smoking gun, because it's one thing to know, hey, we got this guy out from behind the guard desk, so he wouldn't have like pushed,
couldn't
say,
have
like
pushed the button.
panic
Right.
button because he thought we were the police.
Right.
And it may be like none of like the motion, whatever. But if
Right.
you take a thing off the wall
And an alarm
then-
starts sounding.
yeah, it's like awooga noises. That to me, if I did not have specific knowledge that like, oh, it's just the sound
Yeah.
only, that would make me run and panic.
Yep.
Interesting.
Nope. That alarm went off. They didn't run.
Interesting.
Yep. And by looking, so the other thing that
Right.
was missing, besides the VHS security tape, of course, and all the art, the other thing that was missing was that, remember I told you that motion detector machine that printed out a history of the movements?
Yeah.
The printout was gone.
Okay.
So it's like they were trying to cover their tracks. But it did record it digitally.
Okay.
And so the FBI technicians were able to pull up the actual history of
Right.
movement. So they were able to map what direction these guys went.
Oh, no,
Now, here's something
Abath.
interesting that doesn't look so good for our friend Richard Abath, the hippie security guard.
Uh-oh. Ricky.
Missing from the Blue Room was a Chez Tortoni by Manet. That's a pretty expensive
Mana, yeah.
piece, but it is small. When they went back from the moment the thieves entered, which they know was about 124 actually, is when they were able to actually pinpoint. They showed up at 124. That's when they were buzzed in.
Okay.
From that moment, for 81 minutes till they left, no alarms were triggered in the Blue Room. There's no evidence that they entered the Blue Room. So how did that painting disappear? A theory was that Richard was in on this because his guard pathway took him through the Blue Room before the robbery.
So he was like, I know this is happening. I'm
going to take this one.
Right.
for myself.
Either for myself or I'm taking this to hand off to them. I'm doing them a little favor. This is never proven, but it's odd. But the alarms are unreliable. So maybe they did go in and it just didn't set it off. But that is a weird thing for the feds to figure this out.
Yeah, that's murky in a way that you don't like.
Right. Okay. So the other thing that is not in Abath's favor is there is a FBI agent Fisher who gets this idea. Okay, we don't have the videotape from the night of. How about the night before? Oh. And the night before that. And the night before that. So he gets about a week's worth of videotapes.
Okay.
Starts watching them. And sees that Richard Abath.
Oh no!
He buzzes people in all the time. He is constantly letting people in, whether they're his buddies.
No.
There is video evidence that he basically was like, yeah, come hang out with me. You see, whatever he's doing.
One job, Ricky.
Right.
He's so bored.
Yep. And the other thing was that Abath had put in his notice a few days before this happened. He was quitting. I guess he was taking it on the road to be a musician. I don't know. So he is definitely a person of interest. But I can tell you, fast forward 30-something years, whatever it is, or however many years, he's never
36.
been 36. He's never been charged. He's not rich. It's not like he magically sold paintings, came into the money. So it really does all investigations look like he was just a dope. He was just a dope.
If he was in on it in any way, it sounds like he was also at least so dumb as to not get a cut of whatever it was. Right? Where it was like, even if like you sort of knew, it was like, oh yeah, sure, like I'll let you in. It was like, do you want to maybe be compensated for this? Like he wasn't even thinking that critically if he wasn't anyway a part of it. But okay.
The other thing is he's if he's known to leave the front door open and buzz people in, and if these robbers had cased the place before, which they must have because they knew exactly where they were going, and they knew the cops weren't coming, all that stuff, they would have known this guy's going to let him in. So I think they knew this idiot is the guy to rob.
Even if they didn't know him personally, they're like, oh this employee is just terrible at his job and like does not care.
Give a shit.
Like, you can tell. Like they could have they didn't even have to go in. They could have like seen that with like a binocular from across the street. They'd be like, oh yeah, like this guy, like he's not even doing like the bare minimum. Like can't even put his uniform all the way on.
Now some things that might be interesting would be like, let's fingerprint the place.
Sure.
Which they did. They didn't find anything. Also, here's a couple botches that happened when the security chief and Catherine, was that her name? Wait, Karen, the guard, and the security chief went in. The security chief, all they know is this place is a mess. There's an empty frame. The security guards are missing. They don't know if anybody's in the building that's gonna try to kill them. So the security chief picks up the crowbar on the ground and hands it to Karen. And meanwhile, Karen's like, in her mind, because she says this in an interview, she's like, uh-oh, now my fingerprints are on this crowbar. Isn't this evidence? So that's kind of botched.
She did her best.
Karen
then
did her best.
She did. She's like, I don't know, but she's like, well, I guess I better hold on to this, because what if these guys are here and I have to pummel a guy with a crowbar? So that piece of evidence was compromised.
Yeah.
The duct tape was when they untied the guys, because remember, they had still been tied up when the cops found them. They untied the duct tape, threw it on the floor, bundled it up, the cops, threw it on the floor.
What is this, your first investigation, BPD?
Right. One of the police was like, wait, that's evidence. Picks it up, puts it in an evidence bag. It disappears. They don't have the duct tape. It went missing. They've never been able to test it for DNA. They didn't have DNA testing in 1990, but they do now.
They could now.
And we all know so many cold cases were solved because of those pieces. Yeah, the duct tape's gone. Nobody ever saw it again. Wah, wah.
This is dumb.
That's right. So the FBI is like, we're kind of in over our heads here.
What?
This isn't a bank robbery. So they call Scotland Yard.
So the FBI of
I'm sorry.
the UK. Boston.
Yeah, they are
Clearly
like,
they are, though.
not that they're in over their heads, but they're not art heist guys. They are, and they were saying you got it. The streets of Boston at this time, it was two big groups, the Irish mob and the Italians. And the Irish, this is interesting. This makes sense if you've seen Good Will Hunting. The Irish mobs are in Charlestown and Southie. They're run by the Irish. And then you've got the Cosa Nostra was in the North End and East Boston. So those are the two areas. So they bring in Scotland Yard to also just, they bring in like a consultant.
Yeah, right?
I was gonna say, I didn't think like Scotland Yard had like jurisdiction. I didn't realize you could casually like invite them to like another country where they fully do not normally operate. I didn't know this was
Didn't
a
you
thing.
ever see the Columbo
Columbo.
episode where he gets to go consult with Scotland Yard?
No, I did not, Olivia. Hence my question.
I
Do we
guess.
also do this? Like, do we send the FBI to like the UK? Is this a situation?
Apparently we do. You could take a Humphrey Bogart and stick that in it.
Olivia, have you seen Vertigo yet?
No, I have not. So a consultant from Scotland Yard comes in and is like, "Look, I think this is a mob doing because they knew too much. They'd obviously cased it. It has disappeared too fast. It went somewhere purposeful. This wasn't just bought to sell because it didn't show up anywhere."
Right.
A high level of planning / organization points to organized crime already in the area and do better than one of the mobs. We have two to choose from.
We have two. So the Irish mob was known for using art, because it had happened before, to buy weapons for the IRA over
Like
in
you
Ireland
do.
to fight against Northern
mean, it
Ireland.
makes
So that had already
sense.
happened before. They had circumvented a ship. It does make sense. So, but they ruled out. Eventually, they ruled out the Irish mob. Remember how I told you the gardener had been looked at by getting hit for a robbery back in 1981?
Yeah.
So that was by a group called the Rossetti Gang. They were a crew of Italian mafia in Boston.
Okay,
There
we're
was
ready.
a guy. All right, I'm going to throw out a lot of Italian names at you guys. So there was. All right, there was Bobby
That's
Donati.
a very Italian name.
That's right. So Bobby Donati and Vincent Ferrara. Now there was a lot of unrest apparently in the Italians at this time. There was a lot of unrest. There was underbosses trying to take over the bosses. There was a lot of upheaval. And guess what? Donati, who was he was a driver of Vincent Ferrara. Okay, Vincent Ferrara gets arrested. So what these mob guys liked to do was try to have leverage so then they could get each other out of jail. Kind of a
Like you
code.
do.
That's why you don't rat, blah, blah, blah. Well, so Donati was the driver of Vincent Ferrara, who was one of the mob heads in the area, and he wanted to get Vincent out of jail. Guess who Donati was friends with?
Oh,
Miles Connor.
Aha!
I
Who was in jail at the time of the heist. He's like, it couldn't be me. I was here in
That's
jail the whole
right.
time.
So they're like, we think it might have been Donati because Donati and Miles had done some crimes together
That's right.
before, and they're like, well, just because Miles was in,
or
doesn't mean he
playing the
wasn't pulling
strings because he was a musician.
Somehow involved. Yeah.
But then, well, then Donati turns up decapitated and shot in the trunk of a car. So they're like, well, we don't think it was Donati.
Was he still in jail?
When was he
It
alive?
was after. It was.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. Miles Connor was still in jail. Vincent Ferrara was still in jail, and Donati turns up dead before they could ever investigate or ask him anything. Now, did he have something to do with it? Maybe. But now we are in in 1991, so a year later, and he
It's
is
not a
dead.
fake.
He's like
He's not
done
coming back
dead,
from
like
that, even on soap
decapitated,
opera.
shot.
Well, maybe he.
That's right.
Maybe he was
So women with the
rubbed
fishies.
out, as they say, because
As
they're like,
they say.
we're tying up loose ends.
That's
we
right.
don't want, because it sounds like he was a relatively low-level person.
Right.
They, were like, okay, you did the legwork here,
Right.
but maybe we don't want to just have you out here in the wind now.
A lot
I
of
don't work, right?
So, all right, here we go.
Decapitated feels like a lot of work. So much effort there.
It really, I don't know.
so
They cut the
unnecessary.
paintings out of the frames. I don't know. Maybe they like to put in the effort. You know what I'm saying?
Woof.
All right. So at this point, the case goes cold. No art is ever heard of or seen. Their leads have dried up. They've alibied out. They can't figure it out. 1997. There is a guy named Youngworth who
Miles
was a buddy of
Kana.
Miles Kana. We keep coming back to Miles.
Miles, man, every time.
While Miles was in jail, Youngworth was a friend of his, and Youngworth was taking care of Miles' property. And he had a storage shed.
Again with the storage shed and the art stuff.
Yeah.
That's right.
Like, where will I
Youngworth.
keep my art?
Exactly. And Aaron DeGroft. I'm just kidding. So
And he was there too.
he was there. So Youngworth opens up this shed at some point while he's supposed to be just watching Miles' stuff, and he finds all kinds of artwork in there, allegedly, and he starts selling some of it off. He's like, I'm gonna make some money. I'm gonna sell some of it. So he claims that he has seen the paintings. So the FBI doesn't believe him, but this one reporter, Tom Ashberg, because the reporters love this story. They keep every now and then they revisit
hot
it,
news.
and they'll go interview Miles and da 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 da. So he calls. It's hot news. So he calls this reporter. I think he's at the Boston Globe, and he's like, "I've seen these paintings," and the reporter's like, "Oh yeah, prove it." So he's like. So,
I was like, he gets a call from an email.
Shows up at Tom Ashford's
an
house.
email thread from.
Well, sort of. An email.
Right,
yeah, there was
right.
no.
I'm so sorry.
There was no email
Oh,
then.
there's
Jen.
email.
God, it was 1990. Well, no, now we're in 97. Actually, I
instant
guess there's
and
AOL. There's AOL. You're right. He gets an instant message.
Oh my
and
God.
He says,
You've got mail.
he's like, I'm going to pick you up, and we're going to drive somewhere. And the reporter's
go.
like, I'm game. All right. So Youngworth picks him up,
Long Island.
drives him to Long Island
Oh.
to this warehouse.
God. This is where horror
He
movies
goes
start.
inside this abandoned warehouse, got his flashlight.
It's fine.
It's fine. He's like, ignore that body over there.
Right?
Just step over the fingers. Yeah. So
It's very like Silence of the Lambs. Like Clarice is like shimmying under the thing, is like looking around.
I'm telling
Buffalo
you,
Bill storage.
Oh my
it has to
God.
get cut into two parts. I don't know, because we're not even halfway through. Okay. So okay, no, we're halfway through, but all right. So so there's just so many ridiculous twists and turns. Okay, so he takes him to this warehouse. He's got a flashlight. He pulls out this long tube, and he's opens it up in front of the reporter, and he pulls it out, and he unrolls it part of the way.
Oh
and the
my
reporter's
God.
like, holy shit, that's the Sea of Galilee.
Oh wow.
So he's like, Youngworth's like, all right, this is how I want to get Miles out of jail with this. So Youngworth's like, I'm going to talk to the lawyers and say, we got the art, you release Miles from this other offense, and you can have the art back. So the reporter's like, okay. So the reporter comes back to Boston, calls the museum, calls the FBI, says, I saw it. And they're like, the FBI's like, no, you didn't. And he's like, no, I did. And they're like, it was a fake. You didn't see the real thing. But the museum board of directors and curators are much more interested, and they're like, okay. So they start asking him questions. And he answers the questions to their satisfaction that he saw the real thing. Did it have this certain color on it? Was there a tear at the top right corner? What did the paint look like? Because they said having been rolled up for so long would have damaged the... And he said it looked like it was crackled. They were like, okay, oh my God, we think you really saw it. And the FBI said, nope. So...
Why is the FBI naysayers versus the people who were intimately acquainted with the art itself?
That is a great question. Why did they throw the duct tape away? I don't know.
Why are they mansplaining? Like, that's not how the art would be. It's like, you had to call in Scotland Yard because you were in over your heads on the art. Like, calm down.
So when Youngworth calls Mashberg and is like, hey, all right, so do we have a deal? And he's like, they want more proof. He's like, okay. So he sends them. So an envelope a couple weeks later arrives for Tom Ashberg, the reporter at the Boston Herald. It's the Boston Herald. Arrives at the Boston Herald. He opens it up and it's these photos of the art pieces laid out on this like table. Like it's the missing art. And he's like, So he takes it to the FBI, and the FBI is like, nah, I don't think so. Tell him to send paint swatches. Like, tell him to chip off a little piece because they can do some testing.
Sure. Forensic, yeah.
Youngworth's like, do we have a deal? Mashberg's like, no, they want a paint swatch. Youngworth's like, all right. Paint swatches arrive at the Boston Herald. A art expert is brought in by the museum with like the, you know, what do you call it?
Special, like, but
glasses,
to forensically
look at it. And he said, this is real. This is from the Sea of Galilee.
Okay.
And the FBI expert looks at it and says,
no,
nope.
Get out of here, FBI. You are a government employee. You don't know shit. Get out of here. You don't know. Stay in your lane.
So,
stay in your lane. This is a case of stay in your lane. If it's not your thing, if you are, I'm sorry, if you are the director of HR, you have no business telling the social media manager how to run their campaign.
Ashley, do you need to talk about this?
Listen.
She just took a big chug of her water bottle.
Let artists
Ashley,
do what we can do.
Do you want to get
something
off your chest?
Things. Like, let us do things.
But it's baffling to me because this is one of those things.
Sorry, Fitz wanted.
Sorry, we're being distracted by really
not
cute
from
dog.
Scandal. Fitzwilliam Darcy wanted.
Fitz, not Scandal.
Different. Acceptable Fitz.
Your buddy.
No, what I was starting to say was that, like, this is one of those things where it's like you have this thing, in this case, like this art. It's so niche. Like, this isn't like, you know, and obviously the FBI deals in forensics all the time, but with, like, you know, blood or DNA or these other things, this is a very niche specialty. It's sort of like, you know, someone who sells shoes and you're like, okay, great, you know about shoes.
Right.
But then it's like, well, no, we're talking about point shoes for like ballet, which is a totally different thing. And it's like, yeah, you've been around a shoe before, but this is like very niche to like the art form or to like the people who look at this all day, every day. They understand like how it ages, like how it behaves in different conditions. Like just there's so many factors that like this is their bread and butter versus the FBI is like, no, the vibes are off. Like, you know, we're not feeling it. I'm like, why wouldn't you believe the art expert? Like, why? I don't understand this.
Right. So
is it pride? Is this a like?
I don't. You know, I don't know.
FBI? Like, what is happening?
And the FBI, and it's interesting because a lot of these people are still alive and they're interviewed in this. This is the documentary came out in 2024, by the way. So these guys are still around, and the FBI guy is like, listen, it was clearly this was a forgery, and the other experts like, I believe it was actually the. So it's like the battle of the experts. Okay, so. Tom Ashberg has to tell Youngworth, the FBI doesn't believe you. I'm sorry, there's not going to be a deal. So Youngworth is like, all right. So Miles, who's in jail for the other crime, has to do his full time. Miles then disappears, like moves because, I mean, not Miles, I'm sorry. Youngworth disappears and moves because he's like, by the time Miles gets out of jail, he's going to be pissed that I sold off some of his stuff anyway, even though I tried to get him out. I also sucked at trying to get him out.
I'm out of
so
here.
I think I'm just going to go. You guys are good, right? You got this. Okay.
I'm gonna see myself out.
So everything dried up. And Miles, when they went to talk to Miles, he's like, I don't know what he's talking about. I have no idea where they are. So, yeah, there's been a couple other sightings. There is the sister-in-law of a a member of the Rosetti crew who had been imprisoned for 16 years, wrongfully imprisoned, allegedly, and was released.
Okay.
His sister-in-law is briefly in this documentary that she went, and one day in his apartment, he's like, I need you to come help me hang a painting. She's like, all right. Now she sounds like she's from Boston. And she's like, okay. So she goes over there and she helps him hang this painting. And she thinks, this is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Why do you even want this in your living room? And we were standing there trying to get it straight, you know, and then I didn't know. And then like maybe, I don't know how, several months later, the cops decide they want to talk to her brother-in-law. His name's Reisfelder, member of the crew, had been in jail for 16. They're like, you know what? There was some points leading to this Rosetti gang. So they start trying to talk to this Rosetti gang and be like, let's see here. Because Donati was part of it. Miles Connor had ties to it. They're like, let's go talk to these guys. So they go to talk to Reisfelder, and they find him dead of a cocaine overdose in his apartment. So then they start interviewing his family. Well, they go to his sister-in-law, and they're like, hey, you know, we wanted to talk to your brother-in-law. He's dead. She's like, yeah. They're like, so, hey, what do you think of the Gardner? You ever been there? And she's like, yeah, I've been there. Oh, my brother-in-law, Reisfeld, he loved the Gardner. And they're like, oh, okay. Hey, let's have you look at some paintings. Any of these look familiar? She's like, no. Oh, that's that really ugly one that I helped him hang in his apartment. I thought it was horrible. It was the Shea Tortini.
Oh, my God.
By Monet.
Also, can we just...
That really
I'm sorry.
ugly
This woman has no taste because that painting is
She
gorgeous.
had no taste and also no teeth. She was missing like 3 teeth in the front. I'm just saying. It was hilarious.
The really
She's like,
ugly one, this Manet.
She's like, I never watched the news or read the paper. I had no idea what I was looking at. I just said, God, you have the worst taste in art.
Bring me that Thomas Kincaid over there.
God.
Well, when they find him dead, there's no painting.
Dogs playing poker.
Now that's my kind of art.
It's funny because they're dogs.
Because they're dogs and they don't play poker. All right. So now we're in 1997. Once again, the trails.
Wait, I'm sorry. Real quick, Olivia. But he is dead. So what became of this? If he has cocaine overdose, like, can they just go to the apartment and recover it, or like what?
It's not there.
It?
It's not there. They go through the apartment. They get a search warrant. It's not there. So what they're realizing is these paintings, if these tales are to be believed, they're moving around. They exist somewhere. They have something to do with the Rosetti crew.
They move
but
it.
they're
They
getting
move
passed around. One was seen here. Something was seen here. There's a story that a weird-looking bronze vase was pulled out of somebody's trunk at one point. Like, it seems like there's been sightings, but it's all tied back to this Rosetti gang.
It's like a weird. It's like, what is this like shared?
You get him on the
custody?
odd
It's like
weekends.
Yeah. And that's right. So, and it's like, well, okay, so why, right? That's the big question. Why? The reason that they believe is because these paintings could be good blackmail, basically, to get somebody out of jail. So you arrest a big boss. Here's a painting. You want that Rembrandt? Let him out. The Sea of Galilee is going to show back up. So that's why they believe these guys have them in their hands.
You can't sell
because
them.
They're
they're not
they're
like,
too hot to
say, the crown
Sure,
jewels
yeah.
of France that were just sold from the Louvre that you can like break up and sell as jewels. Right? They have to stay intact. You can't just sell pieces of the Sea of Galilee. Like
hopefully.
it's not. You can't.
Hopefully,
yeah. Here you go. Look. Here's Rembrandt.
Like you cut out the guys. You cut out the 12 apostles.
Look, it's Jesus.
Here's Peter.
You know.
Here's John. Here's Jesus. Yeah. So, all right. Here we go. We're diving deeper into the mob. Is what's happening.
Just when we thought
Just when they pull you back in.
Oh God.
So there is I don't know if he's a boss or an underboss or I don't know the whole structure. I'd have to ask my husband. But there's this guy.
Why does he know?
Yeah, because he lived in Boston at the time that this happened. By the way, I forgot to tell you guys this. So he went to the Boston, Massachusetts School of Art. And that was next door to the Gardner. So he was a college student when this whole thing went down. So he was living there. Right. No, maybe he had just graduated because he was like early 20s. Yeah, so he knew he was very interested in this whole
like
case.
Near the scene of the crime.
He's like he'd seen that painting, blah blah blah. So yeah, so that's why, but also what I also have learned is if you live in Boston or New York for any period of time, you know the structure of the Italian families because everybody is somehow connected. So anyway, okay. So there was a guy, Carmelo Molina.
Okay.
He was a boss. His associate, Anthony Romano, was pissed because Anthony had been in jail and Carmelo had apparently used Anthony's wife as a drug mule. Total side story. But Anthony was pissed. And Anthony's like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to turn. So Anthony goes to the feds and says, I want to flip on Carmelo. He was pissed at him and he wanted him to go down. And he goes, Carmelo knows where those Gardner paintings are. So the FBI, this guy's name is David Nadolsky. FBI agent. He's like, all right, would you wear a wire and go hang out with the Rossettis? And he's like, I absolutely would.
Oh my
gosh. He was already kind of in the group. So he does. So there's this group of 4: Carmelo, Anthony, David Turner, Steve Rossetti. They're hanging out. They're hanging out like in a garage or something, and they start talking, and purposely Anthony starts bringing up the paintings. And the conversation is like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, we can't really talk about that. It was a lot of wink, wink, nudge, nudge, which confirmed to the feds these guys know where they are.
Sure, they know something.
But then they also hatch a plan while they're together being recorded that they're going to rob the Loomis counting house, which Loomis is the big armored car.
Yeah.
So the feds are like, oh shit, forget the paintings.
Oh my God. Another crime is being hatched.
Another crime is being hatched. So they had Anthony Romano continue to wear the wire. And they ended up busting up this huge armored robbery thing that was going to happen.
Oh my gosh. So once again, the paintings fall to the wayside because it's like, sorry, we're going to like get in front of this other thing actively happening right now.
So the FBI catch them and say, we're going to let you guys off, whoever tells us where the paintings are.
They ain't no rat.
Nobody talks. So the 3 guys, they ain't no rat, except for Romano, because Romano was the inside guy. The 3 guys all get sentenced.
Okay.
One of the guys, David Turner. This gets really interesting because to me you can't get a more Irish name than David Turner, but he was part of the Italians. So David Turner, young guy, was very close to a boss named Bobby Guarente.
Okay.
Also part of the Rosetti crew.
Okay.
To Guarente, David Turner was like a son. Well, David Turner's one of the guys that got picked up in this Loomis armored car heist. So Bobby Guarente, so this all happens in 1997. In the early 2000s, Bobby Guarente is like, I got to get David out. I love him. He was like a son to me. I miss him. You know what? I'm going to trade a painting. Bobby Guarente starts talking to David Turner's lawyer. Let's make a deal. Call the feds. I'm going to make a deal for David Turner. And then in 2004,
Wait, how did
Bobby
he die?
Guarente died before anything could happen.
Are you kidding me?
Allegedly natural causes. So the feds now, finally, after all these years, it's 2004, they have a hot lead because Guarente, they're like, this guy was going to trade for David Turner. They go and talk to his widow. And they go to talk to his widow. And his widow's like, she gets really nervous. And she goes, he had 2 of the paintings I saw him. I know who he handed them off to.
Oh my gosh.
We all went to dinner. It was like 2 mob guys and their wives go to dinner one night. And Guarente gives the paintings to a guy named Bobby Gentile. So you got Gentile and Guarente.
There's Bobbies all over this situation.
There's Bobbies everywhere. The mob, it's dripping with
so
spaghetti
Italian.
sauce because it's so convoluted. And that Bobby Gentile took him to Connecticut.
Jesus.
Wow. Okay.
So Bobby Gentile and Bobby Guarente
Bobby one,
grew up
Bobby
together.
two.
It was these guys that was like they were both from East Boston. They grew up together, Bobby and
feel like
Bobby,
you do.
and they became gangsters together and committed crimes together. And this is hysterical. So you have to picture this. FBI is like, we're going to plant an informer in Gentile's circle because
Probably.
Guarente's dead now.
Is his name Bobby too?
No, his name was Billy.
We're gonna need an informant, but it's got to be another Bobby.
Bobby.
We don't want to
Robert. It was Robert.
We don't wanna ruin the vibe.
Robert, yeah. So this is in 2010. They're like, okay, we're going to plant an informant again. With
They
the
don't have
informant
any other plays. That's all they have.
Infiltrate this guy's circle.
informant.
So at this point, this is all they have. At this point, Bobby Gentile, he's old. He's probably in his 70s.
Oh no.
He learned during one of his stints in jail, he learned to cook. He loves cooking these big Italian dinners for his old gangster buddies. So they all come over to his, of course he owns like a mechanic shop because they all do.
Casual.
They all like to come over to his mechanic shop and they hang out and they sit around on drums and he makes a big spaghetti dinner and they all talk the shit about, remember when we pulled this job and remember when we pulled this job? So they plant an informant somehow in this group of old Italian gangsters sitting around eating spaghetti in the mechanic shop.
Oh my gosh.
So once again, while they're there, they start talking about the informant starts talking,
Right.
And he's trying to get some kind of information.
Steer the
going.
conversation casually. Yeah.
And Gentile pulls out a bottle of painkillers that he had a prescription for, and the informant's like, "Oh, hey, how much can I get one of those?" And Gentile goes, "Yeah, I'll give you the bottle for $300. So the FBI comes in and arrests Gentile for solicitation to sell an illegal substance.
I mean, cool, but that was not the point of this gathering at all.
But that now they can ask him about the
Al
paintings
Capone on
because they've
tax
taken
evasion,
him into
you know?
custody.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
All right.
Exactly. So
Something.
They've got him arrested. They get a search warrant for his house. They were so certain because of the information they had that Gentile had these paintings. They had a press release written. They had a presser scheduled.
Oh, wow.
They had posters made that were pictures of the paintings that said recovered by the FBI
God.
that they were going to hand out.
Spare a moment for the graphic designer who was tasked to do this. Like the unhinged creative brief. They're like, you wanted me to make what? And they're like, trust me, it's gonna be huge. This will be great exposure. We have no budget, but
we have no budget because we've spent it on the armored car raid that we had to pull
so
off
they just
instead.
like hired some child. They were just like, no, yeah, I mean,
totally farmed it out.
Like, yeah, they're like, we don't have a budget.
Some poor freelancer, like Connecticut.
Exactly.
No, you know what? They were probably
but
from
you
the
know,
Boston,
we don't have a budget, but it's
College
great
of Art, the Massachusetts College of Art, and they gave him an art project.
Because as you know, we don't need to pay our bills. Just
like,
great exposure, everybody.
Oh, Syntax. Oh, that's great. I want to see this post. I'm sure we never will, but it's great.
I found by the FBI.
Can't wait.
It's hysterical. So,
I love it. I can't wait.
So they have scheduled a presser. They're ready to go. Meanwhile, the SWAT team has come. They have helicopters. They have excavators. They are digging up his property.
There's so many sheds.
Once again, we have a shed in the backyard.
They
go into the shed. They find a trap door.
There aren't sheds like that
in the shed. They open the trap door.
The water. I know.
No, because it would get the water, the aquifer. So they,
oh my God.
They open the trap door. His lawyer, Gentile's lawyer, shows up, and he says something to the cops like, I don't even know what they're doing here. They don't have, blah, blah, blah. They think they're going to find these paintings. They're not here. So they find this compartment under the trap door. They open up the compartment. There is a huge one of those big, like, Tupperware, Rubbermaid, giant. They're like, we got it. They open it up. There's only a little bit of pot and a gun.
Are you kidding me?
That's it.
Jesus. I at least
A little bit of weed and a gun.
They scour the house. They find a ton of unregistered guns and ammunition all over the place.
I mean, cool, but like also on brand.
Right. So then they're like, okay, cancel the presser, but don't tear up the posters yet. We still think we could
print it, but not made because it was for the
posters were made.
It's for the recognition.
In FBI red.
Yeah.
For the recognition. So they
Gentiles.
They bring in Gentile. They call in his lawyer. His lawyer walks into this meeting, and now the feds are like pissed. So this meeting, there's 12 agents, 3 ADAs, and a polygraph expert, and they're like, we're hooking Gentile up, and he's going to take this polygraph. And he takes the polygraph, and they go one at a time through each of the 13. Have you seen this one? Have you seen this one? And he says no to all of it. Do you know where they are? He says no. Were you part of did you help arrange the heist? Do you know where they are now? No. He failed 90%.
I was about to say, but you can't admit those to court, but but that's bad. That's 90% is really, really bad.
Well,
that's pretty
also,
bad.
Yeah, like polygraphs, you can. I was just gonna say, Jen, you can beat them as
that's
basic
that's
instinct.
bad.
But
that's
like to 90% fail a polygraph, that's kind of a smoking gun there.
Right. So he gets sentenced to all these years in jail because of the guns. And again, tell us where the paintings are. You can get out. I don't know what you're talking about. So that was all 2012. So he serves his time. He has gotten out of jail. Since been interviewed by reporters, claims he knows nothing, but he was a made man in Philadelphia. So the feds think that's where the paintings might have ended up, is somewhere in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Huh.
2013. The FBI holds a big press release. I don't know if it's because they still have the posters in the closet.
Went into the closet
I'm
one
not
day.
quite sure what
Some
happened.
intern
We gotta use
and was
these
like,
again.
Hey, what are these?
So the FBI holds this big press release in 2013, says that they've had major breaks in the case. They know who the guys were that acted as the cops.
Real close.
But they don't know where the paintings are yet, but they're really close to finding them.
Huh.
And the press is like, all right, well, who were the guys? And they're like, we're not going to tell you because it's an ongoing investigation. It was the most pointless press release you've ever seen. So the reporters, though, go and find the documents, like court filings. They were able to figure out who the two people of interest were in this. The two names that they think were the cops, and now would not be the only people involved, but they name off everybody that they think is involved. And it's all the Rossetti gang. So they are like, these are the guys, and they think the cops were Reisfelder, the guy who's did the time, got out, whose sister-in-law helped him hang the ugly painting. Mm-hmm. And this other guy who we haven't talked about, we're not going to, but his name's Lenny DiMuzio.
Lenny,
and yeah. So those were the two guys that they think did it. Could they go arrest him? Well, in 1991, as you may recall, Reisfelder died of his OD. Also in 1991.
Of course he does.
Lenny DiMuzio disappears.
Casual.
He turns up months later in a trunk of a car in a parking lot that's been sitting there for months in 1991. Yeah. They believe...
Swimming with the fishes.
That's right. They believe he was killed by none other than David Turner.
Right. The perfect Irishman.
The guy who was like a son to Garanti. Mm-hmm.
That tracks.
That's it.
This all
That's
tracks.
Right. Now, at this time, in 2019, everybody in the Rosetti gang is dead except David Turner, who's still in jail.
Right.
Because Garante died before he could trade a painting to get him out.
Okay. God, we're close to today, kind of.
2019.
Yeah.
Recent. Very recent, yeah.
Okay.
Turner comes up for resentencing. His sentence is mysteriously cut short. And he comes up for resentencing. Basically, they're going to let him out. The press is parked outside. This guy's been in prison for 21 years, David Turner. He was a young man when he went in. Now he's in his 50s.
Really?
Yeah.
And he gets out. And there's literally walks right out onto the street. What's one of the first questions a reporter asks him?
Oh, yeah.
You know where those Gardner paintings are?
Oh, my God.
Oh, it's too bad
He goes, I'm not going to talk to you
I'm not
guys.
going to tell you.
It's like,
I'm not going to tell you.
it's like I just got out of prison. Can I take
Can
a
I get a dunk?
Like,
That's right.
Like,
can I get a dunk?
Can I get a donkeys first?
Yeah. Let me get a Dunkies.
On my way to Dunkies.
I'm going to go to the Packy, and then I might talk to you about some paintings.
A bath. Yes.
Richard Abath, the security guard. Abath.
That guy.
Sure.
That guy, he died in 2021. Smoked
Maybe
like a
COVID,
chimney.
we don't know.
So there was some kind of a lung
Okay.
infection. Died in 2021.
Okay.
Was never accused of anything, just still living his hippie life. David Turner is still out
He's
there.
on parole. All
free
right.
as a bird. He's on parole in Boston.
All right.
He's gone pretty quiet. We tried to find him on social media, could not find
Still out
anything
there.
about him. But he's alive, so he's still out there. There is currently a $10 million reward for any information that leads to the discovery of the paintings.
Wow.
Kana. Yeah.
Miles Kana, the professional art thief who may or may not have had anything to do with this and may or may not know where they are, he is also still alive. He's in his 80s.
Oh, yeah.
And when the Louvre was burgled,
Stop it.
ABC News interviewed Miles Connor as an expert.
What
on
did
art
Miles
thievery
Connor say?
To say, what do you think about this, Miles?
Gosh.
So Miles said It clearly was a professional.
Right. It wasn't 81
thieves
minutes like
because
when
they
I
knew
did
what
it.
they were doing. They went in and out. Right.
I mean, right.
I mean,
I
when I
definitely do
did it, because I was in jail.
God.
He said it's his belief that those guys, because one of two things, he says there's only two reasons you would do something like an art heist or a jewelry heist that big. One is you wait for a huge reward to be offered,
Right.
and then you return them with immunity and get the reward money.
Right.
Yep.
The other is because someone paid you to do it for them. They want to have it. Mm-hmm. And he believes, because they've not shown back up that it was the second, that somebody, some prince
Wanted
or
their
some
jewels.
whatever in some other country, some wealthy eccentric wanted them, paid somebody to get them. And they said, do you think they're cut up somewhere? And he
kind
said,
of
absolutely
monster?
not. He's like, what kind of monster would do that?
Miles.
Well, I don't know. Who cuts paintings out of a frame, Miles?
Wow.
So that's
Wow.
his opinion. So
36,
to this
36,
day,
yeah.
how many years did we say? 37?
36.
36 years later, the actual frames are hanging in the Gardner, empty, where the paintings were.
Because you can't change anything.
All the money's going to Harvard.
No changes.
That's right.
Wow.
And maybe one day they'll be returned.
Wow. Incredible. Well done,
insane.
Olivia. That was
That's a windy road. I hope
riveting.
I hope it didn't lose anybody, because
A lot of Bobbies. When in doubt, it's Bobby G.
a lot of Bobbies, a lot of Italians, and a lot of bopping around Boston and the Northeast neighborhoods.
I'm going to do Jerry Lee Lewis and his scandals, because there were
he married his cousin.
many. No, there were more.
Oh.
Dark. Just a dark.
Yeah, he married his cousin, but that's like the least of it.
The least problematic thing he did.
Yikes. I
That
had
he
no
married
idea.
his 13-year-old cousin.
Great balls of fire.
Scandal. We haven't had a scandal
Ooh.
in a moment.
Yeah, and it's just like this whole fact that, he was a very famous white man, and like these things that he didn't fucking matter.
It's really sad because it's like you want to be like, that was a long time ago. It's different now. And
No,
it's
it's
like,
not.
And then the Epstein files release even more documents, and you're like, ugh.
If you're a criminal or a predator, you deserve to be held accountable. And that's
And you're going to get the awooga noise from us.
awooga noises.
That's exactly right.
Well,
gonna be
Jen,
a
you
lot
better
of
have
them
that
next
button
week.
ready for next week.
It's going to be so ready.
Sounds like it's going to get a workout.
Sure is.
And scene.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Wicked Stage Pod.
Follow us on Instagram and check out our Patreon for more exclusive content.
These deliciously wicked episodes drop every other Friday, so make sure you subscribe or follow and don't get left waiting in the wings.